time has come to revolt. Rise up, send the cries up and picnic. You see, cyclists are sick of being treated as second class, harassed under a motorised shadow. The car, in its comparative callow youth, uncouth, noisy. Bikes cast to one side. And so we ride. Saddle up. Lycra or jeans, helmet or beanie, high vis or allegedly unseen. Whether on a mountain bike or a hybrid, a folder or a bent, or a racer that would have your Yorkshire father comparing the saddle to a razor. We're all on bikes. What's not to like? Break the cycle, in the metaphorical, not the literal sense. Demand for more to be planned around wheels less than 4, and show up as a mockery the myth that is the war on the motorist. They're more heavily armed. They cause more harm with a great, bigger budget, while an active transport promises successive governments fudge it. It's not road tax, it's VED. You see, it's not hypothecated. It's ostensibly emissions rated, which, from my bicycle, there are none. And you think a few £100 on some white lines and red paint, where it can be fitted, is too much in our greedy hands? Try 700 million on 5 miles of M74. Or a new fourth crossing at £1 billion and more. Not so much poor relations, more an aggravation, a vexation. And because, why? Because we're not ahead of you in a car? Making the queue longer, keeping you far from your destination? Perhaps because we're fitter, not languishing in cars. We have a world-class, collective, toned arse. You want protection from congestion, and yet turn down a requisition for protection from us, and you wonder why we're here. Don't get me wrong, I drive, but in the city I strive to enjoy my commute. Adding up the reasons, how many ways do I love thee? We're talking dozens, not single figures, while in the car listening to annoyingly cheerful morning radio. Just pull the trigger. 2 wheels feel right. Even when cold and wet, when you get that first hot coffee, or if you prefer tea, endorphins still coursing, warming fingers and toes, you can forget the lows and you can bask. Summer days you leave early, you extend the commute, take in the heat from your seat with panoramic views. Autumn changes are clear. Colour is carried in the air. And that sense of the season, goodwilling imbues. Winter morns dawn crisp and there's a hint of a lisp from your front tyre as you've passed through frozen leaf litter alongside lengthening queues. Then spring springs and things reset. Birds on sparks and trees regain their green hues. And I haven't even mentioned pies and cake and the fact that you can take second helpings. You know, people drive to the gym with dreams of being thin and sit on a bike that doesn't move. The scenery never changes, save for the flickering TV set. My money stays in my pocket. No membership fees or complainable fuel duties. My commute is my gym. And so I can drain my pint to the dregs or order a pasty from Greg's with no sin. So to Scotland cyclists, whether old or young, current or unsprung, take a pop. Pedal on Parliament. April 28th, 2 p.m. We're riding from the Meadows to Holyrood to give the High Hygiens food for thought at just what can be bought for a fraction of the cost to us all. Oh, and there's a picnic afterwards, just in case you were wondering what that bit at the start was.